Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our First Alert weather live stream at 2 p.m. We do have this stream every day. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we do take a look at details for our First Alert weather day that we do have issued for Friday morning, as we do have the chances of a flash freeze on wet roads, slippery travel, definitely a possibility for Friday morning. So if you have any questions, as always, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There I do try to answer any of the questions that you might have. I do apologize if I miss your question as we get through the stream. I don't always have the time to look over there, but I do try my best. Again, we do have a First Alert weather day issued for Friday morning. That is because temperatures are going to drop quickly tonight, below freezing, and we do have wet roadways, we'll have wet driveways, wet really surfaces all across mid-Michigan that could quickly start to freeze as those temperatures drop. We're also going to highlight the possibility of snow squalls that could drop visibilities as we get through our Friday morning. So that also is an add-on to sort of those slippery roads. Is also you could be driving in reduced visibilities with that sort of heavy snowfall, because lake effect snow does like to develop beyond that front that moves through. Now, just some more details on that First Alert weather days. Tonight the rain will end, but right afterwards, very quickly after that rain ends, temperatures will start to drop. That leads to icy roads for Friday morning, and again, those snow squalls possible as we do have that lake effect snow band and some moisture in the atmosphere. Then as we get into the afternoon, lake effect snow chances could continue through a majority of the day, but a good sign is roads should improve as we get through the day. Road crews are able to keep up and sort of get on top of any of the ice spots that we do have on our roads. But we have to get through the rest of the day. And today, so far, well, it's been a rainy one. We take a look outside at our Birch Run camera to start off. It's showing some rain falling there, some wet roads. Again, this will be the concerns. I think off and on ramps of highways will be areas that we have to keep an eye on. Main roads may end up being relatively fine outside of a few slick spots, but it's side roads, it's dirt roads. I think on and off ramps could be a concern as we get here through the remainder of our day. Now, let's look at some other locations across mid-Michigan. We're going to start off at downtown Flint as well, showing wet roads there as rain has continued to try to move in. Luckily not seeing any snow on the roads, but that is a concern in other locations. And then as we look into downtown Saginaw, showing still snow on sidewalks there, snow on the roads. That will be areas as temperatures continue to stay on the warmer side and we get some rain, that will melt and add on to any of those wet surfaces that will eventually try to become icy as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning. But we're going to bring it back to our sky tracker, which is showing rain chances developing along a sort of a line that has continued to move from the east, from the southwest to the northeast. Was more towards 127 this morning, now is moving through the Bay region and into our eastern counties. So really, if you're from Midland down to Flint, out to Bad Axe, you're most likely seeing some rain here in the 2 o'clock hour, and we'll continue to see a rain chance. And this isn't our only chance throughout the day, because this is sort of ahead of that front. That front, as we zoom out, is still on the western side of Lake Michigan. So this is going to be the area that gives us even more consistent rainfall here through the rest of the day, as this line, as it continues to shift to the east over the rest of the day, will arrive in mid-Michigan by as early as 5 p.m. and then move out by 9 to 10 p.m. Timing still a question mark that needs to be answered today, because models haven't quite agreed on the exact timing. It's been pretty close, but again, we're talking about 5, 6 p.m. and then exiting by 9, 10, even 11 p.m. in some models. So that will change. The earlier that rain moves out, maybe the quicker we can cool down, and that's the quicker we can have that ice form as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning. So those are some of the questions that we're trying to answer through the day to see how things develop with this system. But right now, temperatures have continued to warm. We're from the upper 30s into the mid to upper 40s. Areas like Midland, Bay City, Saginaw, all at 43. Mount Pleasant at 44. Our warmest areas are definitely to the south right now. Wausau, Flint at 45. Lapeer at 46. You may get a few more degrees today. It wouldn't surprise me if areas like Midland, Bay City, Saginaw got to about 45, 46. There are some models that have been suggesting that we could get up to 50. I think it's going to be pretty unlikely, being it's 2 p.m. now and our temperatures are still struggling in the lower 40s. But I do think those mid 40s are definitely that possibility as we get through the remainder of today. And then some areas into the lower 40s, especially up to the north and to the east. Hello, Ben. Ben says hi in chat for anyone that is watching on our other platforms. And winds have also been noticeable today. Wind from the south, southeast, or southwest at 5 to, let's go 20 miles per hour. Winds right now, Port Sanilac at 20, Harbor Beach at 17, Port Hope at 15, and Caseville at 21. So definitely a little bit stronger as you move to the east. This is also something we have to watch throughout the day, because obviously stronger winds could help dry off surfaces as it helps some of that water go away. There's still some signals, though, that maybe winds weaken as that cold front moves through, and that could also keep things wet. There's just a lot of factors that are going to go into play with this system as we get through the remainder of our Thursday into our Friday. And then wind gusts also looking stronger out there to the east. Through the remainder of the day, could continue to see wind gusts, I think, up to 25 to 35 miles per hour, then actually picks up maybe more tomorrow afternoon. So definitely going to be breezy, definitely going to be a wet day. If you've been outdoors, you're definitely noticing that sort of windy pattern and that wet pattern as you get out and about. 7-day forecast, though, does have us in the 40s today, and then a drop to the lower 20s on Friday. You'll have icy roads possible for Friday morning into the afternoon, maybe some scattered snow showers as lake effect snow continues to develop. And it's going to be windy. Like I said, winds will calm down at times tonight, but look to pick back up as we get through Friday. And then the weekend, it's 30s and 20s. And then next week, as we get closer to Christmas, it's back into the 30s. There will be some 20s on Monday. I'm not going to totally count that out, but more likely seeing lower 30s for our Monday afternoon. So I don't see any questions in our chat right now. I do have to take a quick break, but once I come back from that break, I will be looking at the details for your first alert weather day and just showing like what we're watching as we get through the remainder of our Thursday into our Friday. So don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live for the second half of our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. Obviously, a busy day coming up as we get closer to the holiday seasons, and with that First Alert Weather Day issued for our Friday morning, really starting tonight as early as probably 10 to 11 p.m. and then obviously that ice chance continuing as we're waking up tomorrow morning. But start off, I do want to look at a few of the details if you're just joining me for that First Alert Weather Day for Friday morning into Friday midday, and that is because we do have concerns that we will see a flash freeze tonight on wet roads that will create slippery travel conditions possible through the morning Friday. And then throughout the morning, we will add some snow squall possibilities as we do have some lake effect snow that has continued to show some signs that it wants to be pretty healthy as it moves across Michigan into mid-Michigan off of Lake Michigan through tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, I think we'll dry off with that snow chance, but that is a possibility that you will be dealing with reduced visibilities from snowfall and that slippery travel possibility as ice forms through tonight. So let's start off with our temperatures. This is something we're watching as we get through the next couple of hours, because how warm we get could determine how quickly we cool down, maybe how warm we are through the night after that cold front moves through. We can see lower 40s, mid 40s right now in the 2 o'clock hour. As we get here the next couple of hours, we'll continue to warm up a little bit. Again, I'm not going to count out an occasional 50 in our southern counties. That's talking about Owasso into Gratiot County, south of Alma, into the Lansing area. So today, if you have travel plans outside of dealing with that rain chance, it's pretty nice out there. I think most people, you're going to enjoy the 50s as you get out and about for your Thursday routine. But we can see that cold air does start to filter itself in. By 8 p.m., it's areas along 127, Clare, Mount Pleasant. They start to drop to the 80s. Then as we get through about 9 to 10 p.m., it's lower 30s for those areas. In the mid 30s in areas like Bay City and Saginaw, both at 37, Midland at 36. And then by midnight, I think that's when we're going to start to see those freezing temperatures want to set them up. If you're out towards 127, this will be the first areas across mid-Michigan that will see those temperatures start to drop. So if you're in Mount Pleasant, you're in Clare, even Holton Lake, up towards Roscommon County, I think Gladwin, Midland, West Branch, by midnight to 1 a.m., that's where we're going to see the first areas drop below freezing, and that's where you're going to hit that time frame of when ice can start to form. It will reach most likely Saginaw, Bay City by about 2 to 3 a.m., but look at how quickly we drop according to even this model. By 3 a.m., areas already in the teens, in the lower 20s, so those cold temperatures, they develop quick, and that will allow for that ice chance to form. Now, you are going to need that water to be there, so that's going to be the question through the night. How do things dry off if our winds do end up staying strong as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning? Now, I will also highlight, I think back roads, dirt roads, those are where you're going to see a lot of your concerns for icy travel. Main roads, if road crews can get out there and they can keep up and get salt that can stay and not get washed away by any of that rain, if they can time it right, that's going to help our main travel roads. So if you have travel plans tomorrow, which I know some people do, maybe you're getting ahead of your holiday plans as we get closer and closer to Christmas time and just the holiday seasons, you may be wanting to leave early tomorrow. Just be prepared for those slick conditions. And I think one thing that's going to be noticeable is we don't warm up tomorrow, so it's not like we're going to be warm in the afternoon where any ice that does form is just going to melt away. We really don't have that setup. It's going to be teens and 20s as we get into the afternoon. This is 3 p.m. on Friday, upper teens, lower 20s. So that's going to be the thing about it tomorrow, is it's not like today where, yeah, we might have been cooler in the morning, but we quickly warm up. 2 p.m. still below freezing, so ice that is still sitting there is still going to be there, and that's going to be something we see through a majority of our Friday, and then by Saturday we do start to see a little bit of a warm-up. Obviously this model not going to show it, but you do actually get, again, above freezing for Saturday, so that does end up helping us melt some of that ice that we did have for Friday. So again, it's not a long-term event, but it's a short-term ice conditions, and again, maybe some snow squalls. We'll get to that here in a second. And again, winds will be important, because if we stay windy through the remainder of our Thursday into our Friday morning, that does help dry us off a bit. Now, there's been some signals as that cold front moves in, wind could start to calm down. So that isn't really going to help us dry off with those stronger winds. And again, it's going to continue to stay windy as we get through Friday afternoon. So this is actually getting into the morning, 5 to 6 a.m., wind gusts from the west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then into the afternoon, we're going to start to see wind gusts at 30 to 40 miles per hour. So definitely a breezy afternoon as you're getting out and about for Friday. Again, if you have plans and you can stay indoors, I would try to. Obviously, not everyone has that ability, so please be careful as you're getting out and about Friday morning with the combination of some icy conditions, some stronger wind, and again, we add a snow chance. It's not the most widespread, but it is there as we're getting through our Friday morning. This is your hour by hour for the rest of the day. So Thursday by 7 a.m., or 7 p.m., we really start to see the sign of that cold front, and that's with this sort of large area of consistent rainfall. Will you hear a few rumbles of thunder? I'm not going to count that out, especially in these areas that really can set up to our south. You may have the possibility of hearing some thunder here through the afternoon/evening. By about 10 to 11 p.m. is when that rain chance looks to move out. There's still some question marks of how quickly does that transition into a snow chance, because there has been some signals, hey, snow can start very quickly after that rain chance moves out. But again, here's that snow chance into tomorrow morning. It would be areas like, I'm going to point out, down towards Flint at 9 a.m. that, hey, this will be somewhere that you could see some pretty consistent and heavy, quick snowfall. So that would be something we have to just keep an eye out for tomorrow morning as this lake effect snow does look to develop off of Lake Michigan for our Friday morning. But by the afternoon, it looks to move out. It will be drier as we get into Friday afternoon. And then rain totals, because again, we are seeing some of that heavier rainfall at times today, and consistent rainfall. We're seeing many areas still holding about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So that is adding on to your roadways. That's adding on to any of the snow that you have on the ground that is melting. Again, some areas it's melting a little bit quicker. I suspect that many areas by the time we hit sunset tonight are not going to have much snow on the ground. So if you've been looking forward to a white Christmas, just going to say we're probably not going to have a white Christmas for a majority of mid-Michigan. I'm not going to count out a possibility that a few areas do, but right now it is looking like the rain, the warmer temperatures that we have today into our weekend, not helping that possibility. But this is still a good amount of rain for much of mid-Michigan, especially up to the north. You see Standish at about 1/2 inch, Gladwin maybe up to 6/10 of an inch, West Branch getting closer to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain. So it definitely is there to see that rain sort of getting on the ground and create wet conditions that will ice up. And again, that's why we have this first alert weather day issued for tomorrow morning. And here's your timeline. Thursday night for tonight, that rain will end, but temperatures look to quickly drop behind that rain chance. Then as we're getting up tomorrow morning, it's icy roads and then the possibility of snow squalls developing if we can get the right setup in the atmosphere. And then by the afternoon, lake effect snow could continue, but roads do improve. Again, we get some time to catch up. Road crews can get out there, they can put that salt down, and that can help sort of get rid of any of those icy road conditions that we may have as we get up tomorrow morning. Now, in terms of road conditions with our first alert weather day, just be prepared. Again, today, tonight, should be relatively good. Obviously, wet roads make things slippery, so be careful with that. But once that rain starts to end, temperatures will start to drop, and then we'll start to see that icy conditions for Friday morning. So you're going to want to have to plan ahead if you do have to hit the roads tomorrow. I know, obviously, people have school as we wrap up the school season, I should say, as we get closer to winter break. Just obviously check your local school closings. If you do end up seeing that, try to stay indoors. If you can't stay indoors, just plan to take longer travel if you do come across icy conditions. Then by Friday afternoon, we continue to see improvement. There's still going to be some slick spots. Like I showed earlier, it's not like temperatures are warming up into the afternoon. We're still lower 20s, upper teens. So your sidewalks, if they don't get treated, are still going to be icy. Your driveway, if you aren't able to get out and treat it, is still going to be icy. Your porches might still be icy, so be careful with that. The roads might be in better shape, but it's those sort of side areas, side roads, dirt roads that still could be icy. Your yard, if you're going to be out, maybe you're walking, could be icy. I know we have furry friends that want to get outdoors. It could be icy for them. So that's just what we have to just keep an eye out as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, your 7-day forecast has continued to show temperatures dropping to the 20s tomorrow, jumping back to the 30s for Saturday, then back to the 20s on Sunday, but we're drier for the weekend. That does help. We'll just get some lake effect snow chances maybe early in the day Saturday, and then very isolated chances in the afternoon. And then next week actually looks to be quite a bit calmer in terms of weather. There could be a snow system or some snow chances on Monday. We'll see how that sets up. There really hasn't been much agreement on that system on Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday just looks to be mostly to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures mid to upper 30s, so a little bit warmer there. That will help melt some of that remaining snow that we do have for anyone that was looking for a white Christmas. I just think the setup in the atmosphere, the setup for our weather into next week, doesn't really sort of hold those conditions for a white Christmas. But again, I want to thank everyone. We're going to quickly end the stream here. I don't see any questions. Hello to everyone that has come into chat and said hi. Hopefully you're having a dry day as that rain continues to fall. But as always, make sure you scan that QR code right below me. That will send you to the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store. There you can go download our First Alert Weather app. You'll get alerts through the rest of today as we send updates out on our app. Also, if we get any kind of advisories, it will also send out those advisories to your app. Obviously, you can get live radar as well that you can watch through the rest of the day if you do have afternoon plans, and you can get more updates, again, just from the First Alert Weather team. You can also head over to our website at wnem.com. There's a weather tab. You can get more updates. We have our article there that gives you more in-depth on what you can expect. That gets updated here a little bit later in the afternoon. And then you can also tune into more of our streams. Later this afternoon, right around 9 p.m., Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have updates on our sort of later afternoon data that starts to come in around that time, and he'll have more updates on what you can expect through the night. And we'll actually have a pretty good reading at that point of what we can expect through tonight into tomorrow morning, as by that point, temperatures may already be dropping in some areas. So sort of a preview of what could come tonight into tomorrow morning. So you're going to want to check out that stream also later tonight. Check out, obviously, our newscast at 4 through 6. So again, hopefully everyone had a wonderful or has a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe tomorrow morning if you do come across some icy conditions or reduced visibilities, and then enjoy your weekend and enjoy the holiday festivities that we have going on as we get closer to Christmas next week.
Today's First Alert Afternoon Weather Update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.